So 10 reasons you should be brave and come try authentic relating. Number 1, you've never done anything like this, and it is shocking how much growth, how much love, how much connection, how much surprise is in the process. That's number 1. So what's different about it is it's meditation mixed in with connection. There's this soul-satisfying depth to the practices where you get to be yourself, you get to be seen, you get to feel connected to other people, and it just feels pretty amazing. Number 2, human connection resets your nervous system. So, for example, we meet on Sunday evenings, which means we are setting you up for a good week ahead. It's meaningful, it's deep, it really scratches the itch. And I know for me, I used it for a long time as a way to prepare for the week where I would just fill my tank and I would feel great for days and days after it. And where on earth, in a city like Durham, where else can you find something that really on a regular basis meets that need? And the third one related to that is sometimes we need hugs, we need touch, we need play. And this is a group where people play, where people might even be on the floor roaming about like a dinosaur or laughing. It's so rare in our society to have a place where you can reliably get emotional and belonging needs met. This is a place where you can be with peers. It's often a group of people who've done quite a bit of personal development work and who are otherwise really brave, because it does take some bravery to show up to any new group or community. But different than a lot of groups, like it doesn't feel like AA, it doesn't feel like a therapy group. Like it feels like you're with peers, exploring and playing and trying new ways of being, and it's powerful. And the fourth one I'll share is often we get stuck in these ways of being where we grew up a certain way. This is a place where you can outgrow all of the habits you've had from childhood. And so you come in, you have all your bad habits. I was so awkward and socially anxious. And so authentic relating is a place where you get to be socially anxious and you get feedback and you get encouragement to be your full self, which means you get to keep your anxiety if you want it, but you get to bring online the anger and the sadness and the joy and the full range of your being. And authentic relating brings all of it out of you. And so it's a crucible for personal development that really works as well as almost anything else you'll try if you're trying to grow fast. Which brings us to number 5, which is authentic relating is great for emotional intelligence and relational intelligence. It will fix things in your relationships. For me, I had a narcissistic father. Well, you'll hear me talk about that on another video. But I, through authentic relating, got to see my own tendencies related to that and its opposite. And it was just shocking to be confronted with all these parts of me that were not healed, that were not adult yet. And by getting all this connection and feedback from people, it shifted it. Which brings us to number 6, which is feedback. Where else do you get high quality feedback from your peers about how you're showing up and have the chance to really try new ways of being? It's a place where you get to be yourself. And that self is not necessarily the self you were born with or the self you were as a teenager. It's a place where you can try new ways of being and to become that new part of you. And that brings us to number 7, which is if you're trying to learn how to date and how to really have your relationships go better, why not have a playground where you can practice all this without a social cost, without it being high risk? So this is a situation that is low risk, play oriented, where you get to make mistakes or be yourself or try things like these ways of being you're not used to, and to give them space to emerge. You don't want to do that in a high stakes environment. This is a place where you can arrive, do your work, be seen, grow outside of these high stakes environments. These are your peers trying to grow together. And they'll say, hell yeah, you are growing, you're changing. I want to see more of you. Bring it. Maybe you're a person that's not used to bringing your voice. In authentic relating groups, people will say, yeah, oh, I love seeing the self-expression, or they'll encourage you, or they'll say things like, being with you right now, I notice I'm feeling, I'm wanting. So you get this feedback on what it's like to be with you, how people are perceiving you, which brings us to number 8. This is the place where you will grow faster than any other place you can spend money or time on. There's just this constant stream of high-quality feedback and encouragement. You're often surrounded by people who've done quite a bit of their own personal development, and they're authentic. They're able to say, being with you right now, I noticed this, I noticed that, and you get this 10 out of 10 quality feedback on how to grow and how to show up in a way where they're more receptive to you. Which brings us to the next point, which is no matter how you're wired, whether you're the angry type or the sad type or the anxious type, the jealous type, there's a gift at the core of that. And authentic relating as a relational meditation practice teaches you how to find the core essence of your way of being and to shine through that in a way that works in the world. And you do it through friction with other people in the room, through naming what's present, through connections with people that you naturally bond with. And we learn to be around all these different types of people in a way that works. And that is powerful stuff. Number 10, let's talk about intimacy. Authentic relating is an intimacy practice, not sexual intimacy. People often confuse attraction with intimacy. We're talking about that sense of I'm with you, you're with me. We both know we're with each other. And we have this sense of depth that's happening. And it's satisfying. It's meaningful. Authentic relating gives you 2 or 3 hours of that in a week, which is usually more than most people get in a year in their relationship. So imagine if you got that weekly. I absolutely love that about authentic relating. It's one reason I've stuck with it for 12 years is that it fills my tank. And I think it will fill yours as well. These are people that you get to know long term that are doing their work, growing and learning together. And as a learning and growing community, it often feels so deep and so meaningful. And I know a lot of us were isolated during the pandemic. We lost touch with that meaningful sense of community. This is a place where you can get that back. So if you're feeling brave, come join us. We do this every week in Raleigh-Durham, but we're with AuthenticNC. Look up our meetup and hope to see you soon. I'm Benji, Authentic Relating Facilitator and Relationship Coach.